Sick to death of buggering about. Tea. You know those situations where you sort of dig yourself into a hole, but you've dug yourself so far in that you've got no other option than to just keep going, sort of failure confirmation, when you know the path of events that you've chosen was just so paved with regret. This is it! Right, yeah, it has been a week since I last filmed, or since I last put a video out. At that point I had the framework finished and I was working on the bits to fit on the car. Now I chose to make those out of wood, and if I had my time again I would make them out of metal. I'll explain the rigmarole with the back one later. The front fixing is in place. I managed to get the back side into the V. I managed to lift that in myself, but when it comes to the front part, it turns out that the Frogeye is just a little bit too heavy for me to do on my own. Now, any normal person who messes with cars would have a gaggle of quite large mates to come and person handle the thing into position. You see, I don't have that, so I thought I'd use my trusty winch. But the trouble is wherever I try to put the legs, the wooden frame is in the way, so I can't get this close enough to use. My jacks won't go up that high because I've got to lift it another 15 inches up. Sorry, centimetres. We're in Europe, you know. No, we're not. We're in Norway. Yeah, so another, I don't know, 50 centimetres. I'm going to have to be a bit creative with that. I would use a block and tackle on the roof, but I don't have one at the moment, and my partner has the car, so I can't just go and find one. Yes. Let's have a laugh at the back. So the system I chose to use was fixing on the overrider bumper mounts. As I raised the centre a bit, it got a bit too wobbly. So what I did is I added these overriders which mount on the rear light holes. Now the problem with that is I made the whole thing in one using measurements from one side. And what I failed to actually take into account is the fact that both sides on this car are slightly different. So I had to make another bespoke side for that. It seems sturdy enough. If I were just strong enough to lift it into place at the other end, I'd be happy. Interesting to see how this is going to work out. I think I'm going to have to phone some friends, if I have any left.